Hello and welcome to this video on using angle properties of circles. Now with most of these questions you'll find that there'll be a diagram and there'll be some information given to you in the text. Now we're told this is a circle with centre O, so that's fine, and that CE is a tangent to the circle. So that's the line CE which runs along the bottom here. It's a tangent line, and from that we know that the tangent meets the radius at 90 degrees. So I'm just going to draw in the radius OD there and just mark on the 90 degrees. So that we know that's 90, and we also know that that is 90. Now we're told to calculate the size of angle BDE. So it might be worth identifying BDE. Where's that? Well, if you draw a line from B to D and then from D to E, the angle formed there is the angle that we're looking for. So angle BDE is this angle here, which is part of the 90. It goes towards making up the 90, that angle there. I'll rub out some of these lines now so we can see more clearly what's happening. And so what do we know? Well, we do have this 58 up at the top there, that's useful. And we do actually have one other angle in this triangle. It's not written on, but it is there. And it's the angle ABD. That's this angle here. ABD is 90. And that's because what we've got here is a triangle drawn inside a semicircle. And the angle on the circumference is always 90. So that's an angle fact, or circle fact that you need to know and memorise. Whenever there's a triangle drawn in a semicircle, the angle at the circumference there will be 90 degrees. And so we've actually got all the information we need. If we think about it, we know that's 58 and we know that that's 90. So we can work out this angle down here because we know that all the angles in the triangle add to 180. And once we've worked that out, we can subtract from 90 to get the little green angle BDE that we're looking for. So let's go on with the calculations now. If we take the 90 that we've got at angle B and add on the 58, then that gives us 148. That's the two of the angles inside that triangle. If we then subtract from 180, that leaves us with the angle down at the bottom there, which was D, which is 32 degrees. Now I'm just going to mark that on as 32. It's a good idea to mark things on the diagram, as you'll get credit for doing that. And then there's just one more step to finish this, and that's 90 minus the 32. 90, because we know it's a tangent, minus that 32 will give us the BDE that we're looking for, and 90 minus 32, of course, 58 degrees. So let's just make sure we finish this properly. Angle BDE, we need to write down is equal to 58 degrees. Now, there are a few ways of indicating that you're talking about an angle. You might find you see that symbol, the little hat above the middle letter. That tells us we're talking about an angle. Or you might find that you meet this symbol at the front, like this thing, looks like an angle, angle BDE. Both of those are acceptable. You could even write the word angle if you wanted to. I'm going to stick to the little hat. Now this is interesting in a way because the final answer of 58, not that you really need to know this, was the same as the angle up at the top, and that's because this diagram is actually a special case of something called the alternate segment theorem, but not something that's part of the National 5 syllabus. So working our way through using the tangent fact and the angle in the semicircle is a 90, those are the facts we need to answer this question. Now there is one more example for us here. Similar type of question. We're told the circle has centre O. Usually we get that just to define the centre, so it's just important that we have the centre defined in there. And then we've got HB and TB are tangents, so that's these lines coming in here. HB and TB are tangents. Now remember, the tangent meets the radius at 90, so we could be tempted to make these 90s up here, but of course that's not a radius that line is meeting, so that's not going to be 90 up there. But we can still build 190 in here because we do have a radius OT. If you look at OT down here, we can have it meeting the tangent line. That great big angle there is a 90, so we can colour that one in and mark that on as being 90 degrees. There, and that might help us. What else do we need to know? Well, what we know is that this line that goes from B to H and the line that goes from B to T are in fact the same length, and that means that the angles that they meet here with this chord HT are the same size. So we've got an isosceles triangle. We could put a couple of scratches on there and there to indicate that this is an isosceles triangle. It's forming something called a tangent kite, although again this is a special case because we don't have the other radius drawn in. But if we had the radius OH drawn in, you can see that there is actually a kite being formed there. I'll just draw a radius just to illustrate that. You can maybe see OHBT is now a kite. And so how does that help us? Well, if we've got an isosceles triangle, what we can do is subtract 48 from 180, and that'll tell us the sum of the two angles that are the same size. That means that 132 degrees is shared between these two angles. So if it's shared evenly, as it is because they're isosceles, then 132 divided by 2 gives us the size of one of those angles. And 132 divided by 2 is 66 degrees, so that means that this angle HTB is 66 degrees. Now we knew earlier on that we had a 90 in here, so we can get into this little angle. It's very small, shaded orange there, and that's the angle HTO. I'll maybe just write that down actually so we can clearly see HTO. How are we working that out? Is 90 minus 66, which gives us 24. So HTO is a pretty small angle of 24 degrees. Now, there's so many things going on in this example, but these two arrows here show us that those two lines are parallel, and because of that, we can use the alternate angle fact to tell us the size of this angle in here. So we just said HTO was 24, and TOM, angle TOM, is also going to be 24 because of the alternate angles there. So TOM is also equal to 24 degrees because of the alternate angles. Now, has this helped us in any way? Well, we haven't even really decided what it was we were aiming for. It was angle SOT. Angle SOT is this one here. And all the work we have done, of course, has helped us, because now that we know that TOM here is 24, let's just squeeze that in there, then 180 minus 24 will give us what we need. So SOT is 180 minus 24. Finally, we get our answer of 156 degrees. So angle SOT. Remember to write clearly outside the diagram your final answer somewhere, but please mark on as much as you can on the diagram, as you might get credit for all of your workings there.